Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is safety for cyclists and plant and growth. Before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, let's make sure that we sanitize. Remember, every time you're out in public, you need to keep social distancing. You can check by putting your hands beside you and in front of you. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be doing multiplication, verbs in the present tense, addition, and subtraction. For our lesson today, boys and girls, we are going to start on page 28. On page 28, we are going to be doing multiplication. Now, the multiplication table that we can see in our booklets are a little bit different. So we're going to do the first ones together for number 10, or the last one. Now, the multiplication table you can see for the last one is the 10 times table. They have given us an example, and so it is our job to complete the table. Let's take a look at the board. Now, what they simply did is say that 3 times 10 equals 30. Now, the easy thing about the 10 times table is that we know that all we need to do is add a 0 for us to get our answer. So, if we're moving on to the next one, it says 8 times 10. Now, 8 times 10, as we know with the 10 times table, by adding a 0, becomes 80. The next one says 2 times 10. 2 times 10 equals 20. The next one says 6 times 10. 6 times 10 equals 60. Then we have 10 times 10. And 10 times 10, even when we add our 0, becomes 100. The next one says 4 times 10. And 4 times 10 is 40. Remember, these are our decade numbers, so they're going to be very easy for us to do. The last one says 1 times 10, and 1 times 10 is 10. You can complete the rest by yourself. Make sure that you actually say it out loud like how we were doing it. 8 times 10, so that you can say it, or you can write it down. You can say 8 times 10. That way, it's clearer for you and you'll be able to find your answer. So, It's either you say it out loud by pointing to the numbers, or if you think that will confuse you, you can write down on a separate piece of paper your sum. Make sure though that when you're multiplying, you are doing it correctly. So take your time. If you're going to lay it out, start with the top number, then you say times, and then whatever number's at the bottom. Have fun with this one, and you can check your work by trying to do the whole times table in order. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
For our exercise now, boys and girls, let's all turn to page 29. On page 29, we are going to be doing verbs, but not just any verbs, verbs in the present tense. Now, this is something that we all do every day, but we don't know that we have done it. So let us take a look at our notes. It says, a good way of understanding verbs is to think of them as actions or doing words. They show what someone or something is doing. This we already knew. But now when we're changing them to present tense, it says all the action words in these sentences are showing what someone or something is doing right now, at the moment. We call this the present tense. So when something is happening at the moment or right now, we say it is in the present tense. We often use the words am, is, or are in front of a verb. So the first thing that we need to do is to circle the action words below, along with either am, is, or are as part of the verb. Then the second thing we're going to do is to also look at verbs in the present tense for things that happen often or all the time. So we're also going to look for those verbs as well. After that, it will be our job to make up an interesting sentence for the verbs that we can see below. We have the verbs helps, loves, is barking, are riding, and am enjoying. So let's take a look. We're going to do one for each of them. So the first one, they want us to circle the verb along with is, am, or are. I have chosen for us to do the first one together. So let us read the sentence. The sentence says, we are watching football on the TV. TV is short for television. Let's read it again. We are watching football on the TV. Now remember the instruction. It said we must circle the verb and the addition doing word. So we have the word are, which is part of the words that we're going to be using for the present tense, which means they're actually doing it right now. And what are they doing? They are watching football. So we're going to circle the word are along with the word watching, because that is the action. Now when you circle, boys and girls, make sure you circle very neatly, and once you are done circling, check if you have done the right thing. So for the next 3 sentences, you need to do that. After that, they are asking you to circle a verb that actually happens often, still in the present tense. We're going to do number 3 together. So number 3 says, the ducks swim to the local lake. That's something that happens often. So let us read it again so that we can find our verb or doing word. The ducks swim to the local lake. Now, if you take a look at the sentence, there is only one verb, and that verb is swim. So that is the one that we are going to circle. Then the last one, or the last few, they are asking you to make sentences. So this is exactly what you're going to do. You're going to make sentences using the words or phrases below. I have chosen the phrase is barking for my sentence. And now my sentence says, the dog is barking at the thief. The phrase is barking is showing that it's actually happening at the moment, right now in the present. So structure your sentences carefully. Make sure they make sense before you write them down. Then don't forget to start your sentence with a capital letter and then end it with a full stop. Have fun, boys and girls, and I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn, and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
For our last exercise for this lesson, boys and girls, let's all turn to page 30. On page 30, we are going to be doing addition and subtraction. Now, it's very important for us to practice this because remember, sometimes addition has carrying on and subtraction has borrowing. So we need to keep on practicing. We're going to do the ones that you can see on the screen together. So let's take a look at the board. We're going to start with the one that says 346 minus 219. We're going to start by saying 6 minus 9. It can't because 6 is not bigger than 9. So what we need to do is to borrow. We're going to go to Mr. Tens and we're going to cancel his 4, make it 3, and then give the 1 to 6 to make it 16. So now that we have made it 16, we can count. You can use your counters, the number line, or your fingers. We can say from 9 going to 16. So we have 9 already there, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we count how many sticks we actually have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our answer is 7. Then we move on by saying 3, because remember, we removed 1 to make it 3. 3 minus 1. And 3 minus 1, my dear friends, is 2. Then we say 3 minus 2. 3 take away 2 will give us 1. So our total answer says 127. So make sure that when you're borrowing, you are borrowing correctly. It is always the top numbers that are asked. Let's now move on to the addition. Now with addition, remember sometimes we have to ask them to carry it on because 2 digits cannot fit for where there's a place for 1 digit. So let's see. We have 4. Let's read the whole sum first. 254 plus 209. We start by saying 4 plus 9. Now if we have 4 and then we add 9, we know that we have 13. But 13, my dear friends, is a double-digit number. So we need to ask Mr. Tens to take one of the digits. So he will take the 1. So we say plus 1. And then we take our 3 and put it where it's supposed to sit underneath the 4 and the 9. We move on by saying 5 plus 0. Now, he has nothing else to add except for the one that we were carrying on. So, plus 1 will make that 5 a 6. So, we write our 6. Then lastly, we say 2 plus 2. And 2 plus 2, my dear children, is 4. Now we have completed our sum. Our answer is 463. So remember, boys and girls, addition and subtraction is important to continue practicing, especially if it is subtraction with borrowing and addition with carrying on. Take your time, and I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
We have now come to the end of our lesson, boys and girls, and I hope you had fun. I know I did. So make sure that you try and finish all your work by yourself. But if you have a hard time, that's okay. You can always ask for help. Now that we are done with our lesson, let us sanitize. Remember, sanitizing is very important because when we keep our hands clean, we are staying safe from any germs, especially coronavirus. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. I wonder though, I'm looking for Zoshi. I haven't seen him the whole day. Zoshi, where are you? Oh, there he is. Hello, Zoshi. So, from Zoshi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, MyZone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.